Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Country.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, Game 1 of the 3-game series with the Phils. It'll also be Game 5 of the 7 games played between these teams this year. As far as the Dodgers are concerned, they went to Philadelphia and had a ball. They beat Philadelphia 4 straight, albeit 3 of the 4 by 1 run. And remember, the Phillies those days were without Chase Utley and without Ryan Howard. The Dodgers now will not only see Utley and Howard. Tomorrow night they'll see Doc Holliday. But the Dodgers have bounced back with 2 of their missing. That, of course, would be Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier. Tonight, Nathan Eovaldi and Joe Blanton. We should have a good one and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Fuel efficiency drive sales event by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. And by Dodge.
Aerial coverage brought to you today by Hangar One, made in California in an actual aircraft hangar. We are moments away from first pitch here at Dodger Stadium. The Phillies and the Dodgers start at 3 right here on Prime Ticket. And Steve, the Phillies and the Dodgers, I mean, this place, remember, was rocking 2008, 2009. Unfortunately, the Phillies got the better. But when you can have some of the biggest stars in baseball meet up, everybody healthy, which is good because it's been a while since everybody's been able to play for both these teams.
Really the middle of the lineup and the warriors of those two offenses in 08 and 09 for the National League Championship Series, and then on to the World Series for the Phillies when they won it in 08 and lost it in 09. And when you look at all these guys, for how good as they've all been injured this year. Howard and Utley maybe more seriously than Kemp and Ethier, but lost significant time. They're all back in the lineup today. They're all going to be taking their hacks. They're all going to be proving that they are the best middle of the lineup in baseball.
I guess this is a quick yes or no question. You think the Phillies get back in this race with this lineup?
You know, it's going to be tough for them to get back because their pitching isn't as good as it was before.
That sounds like a no. All right, so hey, we'll see you for the post-game show. Ben has the call next.
All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, now celebrating 26 years of fun. Visit sanmanuel.com for details. And by 76 Gas, we're on the driver's side. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. It is an absolutely gorgeous evening here in Southern California as the crowd comes in to take a look at Game 1 of the 3-game series between the Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies and the matchup between Nate Eovaldi and Joe Blanton. Neither team comes in here red hot. The Phillies have won 2 straight. They've also run 5 straight the last time they were here at Dodger Stadium, but they have been struggling. As you probably know, they've lost 7 of the last 10, and they are in 5th place, 14 games behind the Washington Nationals. A former Dodger at one time, Charlie Manuel, brings his ball club here, and what a great job Charlie has done. You look back over the years, Manuel has a career record of better than 500. He earned his 900th career win in June against Tampa Bay, and he has led the team to a record 5 straight postseason appearances. It will take somewhat of a miraculous finish, however, for the Phils to make it this year. Here's Charlie's lineup, and it goes this way, a lot of familiar names. Jimmy Rollins at short, Shane Victorino in center, and Chase Utley at second base. Ryan Howard in the cleanup spot at first base. Carlos Ruiz behind the plate. Hunter Pence is in right field. Former Dodger Juan Pierre will be in left field. Placido Polanco at third base, and the pitcher is Joe Blanton. For the Dodgers, 22-year-old right-hander Nathan Eovaldi with a record of 1-5. But before you get carried away about that 1-5 and how bad he must be, look at it this way. He's received just 7 runs of support while he's been in those 7 games, and the record of 1-5. So Nathan ready to go to work. I'll give you an idea of the schedule as the Dodgers roll around here against the Phils. The Giants are off. They'll be in Atlanta tomorrow night, and Barry Zito will go up against their Jurgens. But here we are, and it will be Jimmy Rollins to start it off. Rollins, who is hitting .261, 8 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Jimmy takes low, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Jimmy Rollins. Rollins, a mainstay for the Phillies for so many years, pulls one on the ground. Nice one-handed pick by Loney, who takes it to the bag, taking a base hit away from Rollins. Rollins, by the way, has a little hitting streak of 7 straight against the Dodgers and might have extended that except for Loney. So 1 away, and the Flying Hawaiian, as they call him, Shane Victorino, will check in. Victorino at one time was Dodger property. Victorino, the rumors, of course, are bound to affect anybody, and they seem to be affecting Victorino, hitting .245, 8 home runs, 38 runs batted in. A wonderful player, multi-talented, but his name, along with Cole Hamels, you hear all the time as possibly being involved in a trade. So Victorino, a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Cole Hamels, who was brilliant his last time out against Colorado, watching, and Victorino waits on an 0-1 count. Victorino takes the next pitch a little low. One thing that has happened to Victorino, however, is he is not playing as well as we're accustomed to seeing him play. For 5 years, his batting average was .282. Right now, just .245. He hits a chopper over the mound, behind the bag. On the run is Cruz, and has the ball fly out of his hand while he's in the act of throwing. Though it should have been a play to be made, we have to assume that will be an error. And, of course, that will immediately bring up what occurred here yesterday when the Dodgers committed 5 errors. So we will wait for the scoring, but it looks like a play that should have been made, and the scorer agrees. And so there it is. After having 5 errors yesterday, second play tonight is a boot, and the batter now will be Chase Utley. The Cruz draws the error. Chase Utley, a magnificent player who's been sidelined for quite a while. In fact, so was Ryan Howard. Dodgers lost Matt Kemp for 51 games, and they lost Andre Ethier for about 11. But, of course, they lost Chase Utley for a much longer time, and the same with Ryan Howard. So they're back, but they're still not quite 100%. Throw to first. Victorino diving back to the bag. Shane's record, he has stolen 19 out of 21. So there'll be a lot of pressure on Eovaldi from the plate with Utley and at first base with Victorino. Victorino has stolen as many as 37 in the big leagues, so he is a factor. Eovaldi out of his stretch. Utley waiting. Right-hander turns, throws to first, and diving back, Victorino. When you talk about Utley, you think about a lot of things. Here at Dodger Stadium, for instance, in his career, he's hit .330. He's hit .375 on the road trip. But would you believe he has the highest career stolen base percentage among all active major leaguers? His success rate is just about 89%. Chase takes off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Utley was activated on June the 27th. He began the season on the DL. Didn't even participate in spring training. So when you wonder why the Phillies are last, 14 back, you're looking at it here tonight. The next one to Utley picks up the outside corner for a strike, and the count 1-1. In his overall career against the Dodgers, Utley hitting .292. And by the way, he's getting close. He needs 5 more home runs to get to 195 to tie Bobby Abreu on the list of great Philadelphia home run hitters. Chase fouls another one back, and the count remains 1-2. Utley is a local boy. Sure, he went to school at UCLA, born in Pasadena. Last we heard, he was living down near Wilmington. So many things you can talk about Chase Utley. He had a grand slam home run in his first major league hit. It was against Colorado. Another throw to first, and Victorino back. So Chase Utley at the plate. We're just starting. It just couldn't be a nicer evening. Wow, it is perfect. Used to be an old commercial. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. 1-2, and Utley swings and fouls it back. So Chase is still there, 1-2. He has walked only once, but he's only had 40 some odd at bats. If you go back to 1929, that's going way back with the Phillies, they had 2 great hitters, Lefty O'Doul and Chuck Klein, to have 200 hits and 30 home runs. And in 2006, 74 years later, Chase Utley did it. And then the next year, Jimmy Rollins did it. The 1-2 pitch on the way, very high, 2-2 the count. So it really is a shock, unless you're aware of it, to look at the lineup and see the names: Rollins, Victorino, Utley, Howard, Ruiz. Wow. You figure that they've got to be in the running. They've got to be 1-2. And they are 14 games back of Washington. 2-2, and a throw to first. Victorino again diving back, and those are good throws by Eovaldi, making it very close against a very good base runner. Victorino, as we said, has stolen 19 out of 21. Out of a stretch goes Eovaldi. Still looking, now comes to the plate. Ground ball to the hole, fielded by Cruz to second for 1. An awkward throw to first for a double play. Fine play by Mark Ellis to be able to make the double play, with Victorino really bearing down on him. The Phillies go out 1-2-3, and at the end of half an inning, no score. A good double play. Now let's take a look at the Dodger lineup, and it reads this way. Jerry Hairston leads it off at third base. Mark Ellis at second, and Matt Kemp hits third in center. Andre Ethier in right. Then you have Juan Rivera in left, James Loney at first, Luis Cruz at short, A.J. Ellis behind the plate, Nathan Eovaldi on the mound. On the mound for the Phillies, big Joe Blanton, 6'3", and somewhere around 245 at least, out of Nashville, Tennessee, lives in a small town in Kentucky, Brownsville, and he went to the university. Joe was originally drafted by the Oakland A's. His first pitch in for a strike to Jerry Hairston. Hairston batting .300, and Blanton working very deliberately, waiting for Jerry, who's in and out of the box. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Strike one pitch on the way, and that's low and off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Joe Blanton, in the 7th grade, made his varsity high school baseball team and lettered for 6 years. 1 pitch is in for a strike, 1 and 2. You say, well, how in the world can you be in the 7th grade and pitching in high school? He was Kentucky's Mr. Baseball and accepted a scholarship. It's such a small town, Brownsville, Kentucky, that they allowed junior high school players to play in the high school. The 1-2 pitch fouled away. 1 and 2 the count. How small is it? Well, remember Nick Swisher? He was a teammate of Joe Blanton's at Oakland. Nick said his town is so small, as soon as you see the sign for his hometown, your cell phone goes out. So that's pretty small. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's in the dirt. Nice block by Ruiz, and the count 2 and 2. Carlos Ruiz, all-star catcher, caught 4 innings this year, and boy, what an all-around player he is. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. Blanton working on Hairston. Next pitch is a soft little looper, one-handed cutting across by Polanco in front of Rollins. So Hairston loops out, and we have 1 away. So Mark Ellis, who turned the double play, and it was a good turn because, as you know, Victorino runs so very well. He was right in on top of him, but Mark made it. And, of course, anytime you can see Mark Ellis hold his ground against any runner, and he always does, you marvel at that when you think about it. Pitch in for a strike. Maybe not gun shy, but knee shy. Remember that play that almost cost him a leg, and yet there he is hanging right in and turning the play. He takes up around the shoulder, and the count 1 and 1. Go back to that top of the first inning, and Ellis gets it, steps on the bag, and just does avoid the sliding Victorino to make the double play. It was a fine play. 1 and 2 the count to Mark, and Matt Kemp is on deck. Well, Arizona got well, and we can tell you the 1-2 pitch is strike 3 called to Mark Ellis. So down he goes for the first strikeout for Joe Blanton, and the batter Matt Kemp. The Diamondbacks beat the Reds 5-3. Remember, the Diamondbacks were swept in Chicago. Reds are playing without Joey Votto. Remember when Votto was here? He had hurt his knee in San Francisco, came here, had to miss a game, played and played well, but the knee really bothering him, and he's going to have arthroscopic surgery. So the D-backs beat the Reds minus Joey Votto. Well, here is Matt Kemp hitting .369, 12 home runs, 28 runs batted in, takes a strike. Started with a bang, couple of base hits in each of the first 2 games. Remember, his very first at-bat after a 51-game layoff, he doubled the left center. Swings and fouls one back, and the count 0-2. So he had a double and a single in Friday night's game. Saturday's game, he had 3 hits and rested Sunday. And there were those who think, well, why is he being rested a game? He should be right back in there. Well, take Charlie Manuel. That's what he's going to be doing with Utley and Howard as the pitch is off the plate. Charlie says, I will play Howard and I will play Utley 2 games, and then they will sit down for the 3rd. So when you have the high-priced, great talent, you have to be very, very careful. The 1-2 pitch, Matt, it's a bullet right at Polanco. Oh, what a tough out he is. So Matt Kemp lines to 3rd. The Dodgers go 1-2-3, and at the end of an inning, no score. and the Phils. Big Ryan Howard will start things off, followed by Carlos Ruiz and then Hunter Pence. And the first pitch to Howard is high. Dodgers toss up that triangle defense where the second baseman plays a short right field and the shortstop moves over to the other side of the bag. So Hairston is all alone on the left side. Ryan takes off the plate. 2-0 the count. He began the season on the DL. He had off-season surgery on his left Achilles, so he didn't have any spring training either, just like Chase Utley. The 2-0 pitch on the way is foul back. So if you look at his numbers and you say he's hitting 125, no home runs, no RBIs, well, that's why. And another big reason why the Phillies are where they are. So Ryan Howard, 1 year at 48 home runs and 145 runs batted in. And he takes low, ball 3-1. The 48 home runs in 2008 tied Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt. 3-1 pitch, and it's fouled off to the left out of play. Over the last 7 years, Howard has been dominant. He has the most home runs, RBIs among all major league players. 3-2 the count to Ryan, born in St. Louis, still lives in Missouri, and the 3-2 pitch is fouled away again. Ryan Howard was the Rookie of the Year in 2005. He was the MVP in 2006. 3-2 to Ryan Howard. Handle with care. Into the windup goes Eovaldi, and the next pitch is swung on. A long fly ball to left. At the wall is Rivera to make the catch. Right at the bullpen window, 360 feet away. So Howard might have been a little late, and it just shows you the strength of the man, how far he hit it. One away, deep left field. And that will bring up Carlos Ruiz. Ruiz, the all-star catcher, has a little hitting streak going on the road. He has hit in 8 straight on the road. For the year, he's hitting .353, second to Andrew McCutchen, who leads the league. Andrew, the brilliant center fielder for Pittsburgh. And the pitch to Ruiz, a little high, 1 ball and no strikes. He was 0 for 1 at the plate in the All-Star game. He did catch 4 innings. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 1-1. Ruiz has 14 home runs, and this really tells you what kind of a player he has been. Of his 14 home runs, 6 have either tied the game or given the Phillies a lead. 4 have given them a lead definitely, 2 a tie. And he promptly drives one down the left field line. That's going to one-hop the box seats, kick back to Rivera, who finally gets it in. And by that time, Ruiz steams into second base standing with his 24th double of the year. And it also means Carlos has hit in 9 straight. He got a big, high, looping curveball, and he certainly straightened it out. Came close to hitting it into the stands. So a double for Ruiz on the heels of that long fly ball out by Ryan Howard. And now Hunter Pence, who was the pride of Houston and now digging in and has always done well here, hitting .278, 17 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Hunter backs off on Paul 1. Hitting .292 in his career at Dodger Stadium and about .270 in Houston, Philadelphia, and here. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Hunter swings and fouls it back. Hunter Pence has 7 hits in his last 18 at-bats, with runners in scoring position, and his average would be .389 in the pressure spot. Constantly fidgeting at the plate. 1-1 the count. Hunter Pence. Boy, they loved him in Houston. They loved him in Philadelphia. Big swing and a miss. He almost fell down. 1-2 the count to Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence from Arlington, Texas, one of the rare players with 17 home runs who actually chokes up the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Eovaldi delivers a high fastball, swung on and missed. 94 miles an hour. So Eovaldi picks up his first strikeout on a pitch way out of the strike zone. Of course, Pence is 6'4". So to him, I guess he thought that was shoulder high, but it was anything but. 2 out. Ruiz holding at second. And a wonderful human being as well as a fine all-around player, Juan Pierre. Pierre, left-hand hitter, promptly bangs it into right center. Base hit. So here comes Ruiz to score easily. The Juan Pierre with a home run, 18 runs batted in, now has 19, and didn't hang around to take a bow, didn't hang around to visit with anybody, just walked up and spanked the first pitch for a base hit and a run batted in. So Pierre picks up Carlos Ruiz. Phillies are on top 1-0. Phillies come in here having won 2 straight and having beaten the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium 5 straight. Remember, the Dodgers earlier this year beat Philadelphia 4 straight in Philadelphia. Here's Placido Polanco with a runner at first and 2 out. Pierre takes his lead and the pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Pierre, of course, in his salad days was a threat to steal, and he is still eating lettuce because he has stolen 21 out of 24. So Pierre at first with 2 out, a definite threat to go, and a throw over there, and he dives back to the bag. Placido Polanco hitting .263, 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Last year, when the Dodgers were playing the Phillies, it was kind of amazing. Rollins, Victorino, Utley, Polanco, and Ruiz, just about all of them had more walks than strikeouts. The pitch in the dirt, nice block and scoop by A.J. Ellis, 1-1. So one of the things that has changed for Philadelphia, the fact that they are not doing that this year. Rollins has more strikeouts, Utley certainly, Victorino more, even Polanco and Ruiz. So they are now striking out more than they walk. 1-1 the count. Eovaldi delivers a chopper up the middle to the shortstop Cruz. He's on the bag, and that will be that. However, 2 hits and a run for Philadelphia. Ruiz doubles. Pierre picks him up, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. The Dodgers anyway, doubled with 1 out in the second inning. He has a little streak of 9 straight now on the road. And then Juan Pierre hit the first pitch for a base hit to score Ruiz. And just like that, the Phillies lead 1-0. Now in the second inning for the Dodgers, Andre Ethier, Juan Rivera, and James Loney. Andre Ethier with 60 RBIs now. Came back with a vengeance in the recent series, hitting .297 with 11 home runs, and since he returned, 5 for 11. So Blanton, from without a windup, just kicks and deals, and it's fouled away in the count 0-1. For Andre Ethier, among other things, he's hitting .350 in the past against Blanton, and he has 2 home runs against Joe. Blanton, by the way, has given up 20 home runs. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Ethier fouls it away, and the count 0-2. Blanton, among other things, was really punished the middle of May against the Red Sox. They hit 4 home runs against him in that one game. The strike 2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Andre Ethier. So Blanton has struck out 3 in a row after getting Hairston to pop up. He got Ellis and Kemp in the first inning. Now he gets Ethier, and the batter will be Rivera. Juan Rivera hitting .251, 3 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter, as you know. Blanton over the top, fastball low and away. One ball and no strikes. Blanton comes right back and finds the strike zone. So that evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe does not waste any time. He gets the ball and comes right after you. And his 1-1 pitch on the way is a big chopper to third. Polanco is on it and gets it across to first. And we have 2 down in the second inning. There are 2 big differences between the team. I mean, let's face it, the Dodgers, with all of their struggles, all of their injuries, were in first place an awful long time. They're now a game and a half back behind the Giants. The Phillies, they had their injuries, their big guns were sidelined, and they're 14 back. One of the reasons, one of many, is the difference between the 2 teams in scoring men from third base. You might not think much about that, but the Phillies have not done well at all in getting people home from third base in less than 2 out. The pitch to James Loney is a high strike. 0-1 the count to James. In fact, in talking about getting runners home at third, it's reflected in the fact that the Phillies are 8 games under 500 in 1-run game. Little flair. Jimmy Rollins is there to glove it, and that does it for Loney. So the Dodgers go quickly. 6 in a row retired by Blanton, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. inning. Joe Blanton followed by Jimmy Rollins and then Shane Victorino. And Eovaldi's first pitch is low, ball one. Don't forget, when the Dodgers won the 4 straight in Philadelphia, 3 of the 4 were one-run games. So if we get another low, tough ball game, it would just be following the pattern. 2-0 the count to Blanton. Eovaldi ready. Nate delivers and gets a strike. Those scores were 4-3, 2-1, and 6-5. The one game the Dodgers won that was one-sided, Aaron Harang beat Cole Hamels 8-3. Little foul ball off to the right. 2-2 the count to Joe Blanton. Big enough to give you a good strike zone at 6-3. Has only 2 hits, so he doesn't figure to be much of a hitter. Right-hand batter waiting. Eovaldi into the windup. Nate delivers right on the fists, fouled away. Talk about a hitter fighting off the pitch. That's what Blanton did. So it's still 2-2 the count to Big Joe. Out of Brownsville, Kentucky. 2-2 pitch on the way. Joe sprays it foul off the railing, the protective railing in front of the Philadelphia dugout. Almost wiped out Ryan Howard. Two and two the count. Eovaldi again ready and deals. Blanton taps it right back to the box. Nate picks it up and throws him out. So we have 1 down in the 3rd inning. And the batter will be Jimmy Rollins, and Ryan Howard still in very good humor in the dugout. Ryan, a musician in his own right. When he was in high school, he was a trombone player. Having fun imitating Blanton's swing. Now Jimmy Rollins grounded out in the 1st inning. A remarkable all-around player. Little off his game, however, hitting .260. 8 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Rollins, Gold Glove shortstop. Backs off, the pitch is low. Jimmy Rollins, 5'8", maybe 170, born up in Oakland. Last we heard he was living in New Jersey. The 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's a strike. 2-1. Jimmy, the MVP in 2007. A rookie and all-star in 2001. Takes another strike. Being an MVP and you're a shortstop, you join among others Marty Marion, Ernie Banks, Maury Wills, Barry Larkin, and Jimmy Rollins. This year, he's had a lot of call strikes on him. And if he gets to second, look out. He's stolen third 5 times this year. And drives one in the air to right field. Ethier to the track, at the wall. It is gone. So Jimmy Rollins hits his 9th home run of the year. And the Phillies now take a 2-0 lead. We were talking earlier, there are 2 things different about these clubs. We mentioned one, the Dodgers are better in scoring the man from third. But when you talk about home runs, what a difference. For instance, for Philadelphia, they've hit 41 home runs, and the Dodgers have hit 24 at home. If you combine, you can see there's a big difference, the pitch low. And, of course, Philadelphia is a home run hitting ballpark. There have been 93 home runs hit in that ballpark this year. The 1-0 pitch in for a strike. That home run by Rollins is only the 58th home run here. So here's Victorino, reached on the error by Cruz. Shane grounds one sharply up the middle, base hit. So Victorino, a single to center, and the batter will be Chase Utley. You know, tomorrow at 7:10, Dodgers and Phils, and fans with the first 30,000 tickets receive their own beach chair, compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So a home run followed by a single, followed by Chase Utley, hitting .256, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. You know, another interesting thing about Philadelphia, and here they are, 12 games under 500 and 14 games back. But during Charlie Manuel's tenure, they have been exceptionally good after the All-Star break. Well, they've now won 2 straight. Utley, a ground ball backhanded by Loney on the bag for 1. That removes the force, so they have to run down, and they're going to lose him. Victorino gets to second base as the Dodgers mess up the double play. You know, it's an amazing thing, and I've said it before. I recently said it in a rundown between third and home. If there is one consistent disappointment that I have had in watching Major League games after trying to play amateur ball, is the inability of Major League teams to do a successful rundown. And the way they butchered that play, Ellis had the ball and he didn't have anybody to throw it to. It's amazing. I mean, kids in the streets do better rundown plays than big leaguers. Why? Maybe because they don't practice it. Maybe. But believe me, the Dodgers join a long list of distinguished ball clubs that absolutely butcher the rundown play. So Utley is out, but Victorino is at second base. And with 2 down, the batter is Ryan Howard. The only manager I ever met who said, "Not my team knows how to make a rundown," was Chuck Tanner when he managed the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tanner's club practiced the rundown constantly, and it played off. Ball 1 to Ryan Howard. Two to nothing Philadelphia. They have a chance to pick up yet another. Howard fly deep to left field, his first at bat. The 1-0 pitch way off the plate, ball 2. It's one of those pick your poison. You go after Ryan Howard or Carlos Ruiz, and they're going after Howard for the simple reason he hasn't played. Howard waits. The 2-0 pitch coming up from Nathan Eovaldi, swung on and fouled back. 2-1. Howard hit a long fly ball. Rivera caught it right at the window of the Dodger bullpen in the second inning. Big Howard waits. 2 out, third inning. 2-0 Philadelphia. Eovaldi set, back he comes, looked like a change, in for a strike. That takes a lot of courage. You got a big home run hitter, 6'4" up at the plate. You give him a big windup and then you throw a straight change, hoping that he doesn't take your head off. 2-2. And there goes Victorino and then stops. They're going to throw down to second. They got him. He who hesitates is thrown out. Victorino probably could have stolen third, then decided I best get back, and A.J. Ellis hung him out to dry. So the Dodgers get out of the inning, and it's still 2-0 Philadelphia. A base hit, was ready to steal its 20th base, thought better of it, and was picked off. So with all of that, Phillies wind up with 1 in the 3rd, lead 2-0. A.J. Ellis out on deck after that nice pickoff play of Victorino, and Luis Cruz takes a strike. 0-2 the count to the Dodgers shortstop, hitting .241, 4 runs batted in. Strike 2 pitch, fastball high, 1-2. One thing about Joe Blanton, you have to be ready. He throws strikes. Of course, he's also been burned. Here's the 1-2 pitch, ground ball to short. Rollins to his left, gets it over to first in time, and we have 1 down. When we talk about Blanton being burned, believe it or not, he's allowed 6 home runs this year to the leadoff hitter of an inning. You know, July 31st, Kirk Gibson bobblehead night, presented by San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Fans with the first 50,000 tickets receive a mini fist-pumping Gibson. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. A.J. Ellis checks in, hitting .275, 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in, and a strike, 0-1. Blanton, since he throws so many strikes, and he has only walked 16, and he has struck out 98. He evens up the count 1-1. Consequently, when you have a pitcher who gives up a lot of home runs, you know he's a control pitcher usually. 1-1 pitch, hard ground ball by the diving Rollins into left field for a base hit. For Blanton, always worrying about the home run. He's allowed one in 11 consecutive starts. That'll be the most for a Phillies pitcher since Randy Wolf gave up 12 straight back in 2000. So A.J. a single to left. Dodgers picking up their first hit after Blanton had retired 7 in a row. Here's Eovaldi. We'll see if they ask him to bunt, even though there's 1 out. He shows bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So Joe Blanton leading 2-0. Don Mattingly putting on a sign, and we'll see if the bunt's still on. A.J. Ellis taking a good long look. Eovaldi, one of those fellas who started off on the right foot. He misses the bunt, fouls it at the plate. Nathan Eovaldi got a base hit in his first major league at bat. It was last August the 6th, and it was in Arizona. Oh, 2 the count. He's bunting again, and did he miss or foul it? Nope, just let it go by. They're going to look at first, and Wally Bell said no attempt. So 1-2 the count to Nathan Eovaldi. Blanton set. Joe ready in the 1-2 pitch. The bat's pulled away for strike 3 called. So Eovaldi couldn't handle the assignment. 4 strikeouts. So Blanton now has 99 strikeouts to go with only 16 walks. Better than 5-1, and he's working on 6-1. And the batter is Jerry Hairston. Little pop fly to Polanco, leading off the game. 2-0 Philadelphia. Ruiz doubled. Pierre singled him home. Rollins homered in the 3rd. First pitch in for a strike. You walk up there against Blanton, the chances are that ball's going to be right around the strike zone. His career, he's actually a better pitcher in the second half. The strike 1 pitch is swung on and fouled. 0-2 the count. In fact, Blanton, who came into the game with a record of 7-8, working on Jerry Hairston. Hairston does it all the time, backs out and takes quite a few practice swings. Blanton, in August and September in his career, is 32-13. Here's the strike 2 pitch. Line drive at Howard. That'll do it. So Hairston hits a bullet right at the Phillies' first baseman. Dodgers no runs, a hit, a man left, and at the end of 3, 2-0 Philadelphia.
Made in California in an actual aircraft hangar.
Phillies lead the Dodgers 2-0 in the fourth inning. What we assume the Phillies with payback time because the Dodgers beat them 4 straight in Philadelphia. Ryan Howard was left at the plate when Victorino was caught hesitating to steal third, and Ryan hits a mile-high fly ball to left field. It is gone into the pavilion. That is Philadelphia's second home run, and they lead 3-0. So Nathan Eovaldi trying to give the Dodgers some hope, and the Phillies have jumped on him. For Eovaldi, he had allowed 3 home runs in 47 innings, and he's allowed 2 home runs in 3 innings tonight. So Ryan Howard hits it out. For Ryan Howard, that's his first home run. I mean, you're talking about the guy who hit 47, one of the great home run hitters in the game, and he hits his first this year in the 6th game he's played. The pitch now to Carlos Ruiz, down and away, ball 1. Well, if you look at the numbers, you start to look at Philadelphia a different way. The 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. The numbers meaning they have Utley and Howard back now. We told you about Charlie Manuel and how his clubs always play better in the second half. We've mentioned the fact that Joe Blanton has pitched exceptionally well in his career in August and September. So who knows? 14 back of Washington, but a ways to go. Now the 2-1 pitch in there, 2-2. Phillies playing their 91st game. So they have 70 left. 71 to be exact. 2 and now 3-2 to Carlos Ruiz, who doubled and scored a run in the second inning. Still 3-2, bouncing that one into the Dodger dugout. Carlos Ruiz in his career hitting around 290 against the Dodgers. And he takes ball 4. Phillies 3 runs on 5 hits. The batter will be Hunter Pence. A beautiful time of day as the sun sinks slowly in the west. It was 67 degrees when the ball game started. Just a perfect evening. Hunter Pence struck out in the second inning. Hunter wears those pants tucked in right at the knees, and as we mentioned earlier, chokes up on the bat. You just don't see anybody with 17 home runs move up on the handle, but he does, and it's certainly paid off for him. One and one to Hunter Pence. They tell a story about Hunter Pence. It happened 4 years ago. Before a game on May the 21st, Hunter Pence received a text message from his brother Howard that said, "Hit one for the new baby," a daughter named Haley. He did. 2-1. Two balls and one strike the count to Hunter. 6'4", 215, 29 years old. Ball 3, 3-1. Hunter swings hard with every swing, but he's done reasonably well. Admittedly, he'll strike out 100 times, but nothing out of sight. Of his 17 home runs, 13 have been hit against right-handers. Another strike. Also, of Hunter Pence's 17, 10 have been hit on the road. You would think he'd really clean up in Philadelphia. 3-2. Nobody out. Foul ball. Phillies 3 runs, 5 hits, and that means 2 home runs and a double. And the Dodgers no runs, 1 hit, a single by A.J. Ellis. Another foul ball. Pence has played in 90 of the 91 games. Check swing foul, though he's still there. Pence does ground into double plays. He is grounded into 11. That would be tops on the Philadelphia club. Ruiz at first, nobody out. 3-2 to Hunter Pence. Fouled away down the right field line, out of play. With Pence having grounded in the most double plays, you wonder why they don't run Ruiz 3-2. One reason is Pence also has struck out 73 times. They get 74 counting tonight. And this time he wins the battle. Ball 4. So the home run by Howard, and then back-to-back walks by Ruiz and Pence, and the batter is Juan Pierre. So the Phillies trying to shake themselves. Quick shot of Victorino and Howard and Rollins. Juan Pierre checking in. They can play from memory and win, you would think. Pierre, among other things, the Dodgers certainly know him well. Been with him 3 years. He'll steal a base constantly. He has 21 this year. He will also bunt for a base hit. In fact, he is #1 in the league in bunts. He has 9 bunt singles. So let's see what they have him doing with Placido Polanco on deck. Big breaking ball for ball 1. Pierre has bunted and sacrificed a half a dozen times, but he's one of those guys, if he bunts, it may be a sacrifice, but it might very well turn out to be a base hit. 1-0. And he drives it instead over the head of Ethier, who goes to the track and hits the wall, making the catch. The runners have to scurry back. Juan Pierre all over that thing. Thought he had an extra base hit. And Pierre not even crossing the foul line. Wonderful play by Andre Ethier, because that ball would really tag. Andre had no chances of anything but run as hard as he could. Not even think about the wall. Eyes riveted on the ball. Makes the catch. So for Nate Eovaldi, he's being pushed around here, but so far so good. Runners at first and second, 1 long out, and here's Placido Polanco, 0 for 1. 0-1. I can't say his name without thinking of the 3 tenors. Can you? Instead of Placido Domingo, Placido Polanco, 2-time All-Star, 3 Gold Gloves, and a wonderful all-around player. A hopper to the right side. Ellis goes to get one. They throw to first in time, and the Dodgers turn the double play. The second double play they turned in tonight. So it winds up. Philadelphia settles for 1. The home run by Ryan Howard. And at the end, 3.5, 3-0 Philadelphia. Remember, he wrecked his Achilles right at the end of the championship series last year, though he's only had a few at-bats. In his 2 at-bats tonight, it's the same old Ryan Howard. He had a fly ball that Rivera caught up against the bullpen window in the 2nd inning to left field, and then in the 4th inning, he hit one in the seats. That, of course, will put a smile on Charlie Manuel's face. Charlie, the skipper, who has 10 brothers and sisters, among other things, which is kind of interesting. Charlie Manuel was born in a car on his way to his grandmother's house. He once played for the Dodgers. Charlie Manuel out of West Virginia. Mark Ellis, 2 quick strikes. Ellis and Blandon both played for Oakland at one time. Had a big year 7 years ago with the A's. And promptly hits an 0-2 pitch into center field for a base hit. How many of those have we seen this year? It's the new way to pitch to contact, I guess. So Matt Kemp coming up, line to third. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right at Placido Polanco. Matt 0 for 1. Had Matt Kemp not missed most of 6 weeks, his numbers are truly impressive. Fouled away. He is second to Andrew McCutchen in batting, second in on-base percentage to Joey Votto. He is first in slugging percentage, first in on-base percentage. Oh, and 2. He is second to Adam Dunn as far as at-bats and home runs. Adam Dunn 10.82 at-bats. Matt Kemp 10.83 at-bats. 0 and 2. And that's driven into right field, but it's slicing and coming over the backhand of his pen. Pretty good shot on yet another 0-2 pitch. You get the feeling after a while that Blanton doesn't know how to throw out of the strike zone. 1 away. Joe now working on Andre Ethier, who struck out in the 2nd inning. Andre hitting .296, 11 home runs, 60 runs batted in. Even though he missed 11 games, he's way out in front in the RBI feeling. More playing lost with Utley and Howard than Kemp and Ethier. Foul ball. 0-2. Kemp has played in 39 games. Ethier 79. While Utley has only played in 13 games. And Howard has only played in 6. 1-2 to count. So if somehow or other Philadelphia begins to make a run at Washington, you can understand why. Their problem, they have to climb over everybody. 2-2. They're 4 back of Miami, 7.5 back of the Mets, 11 back of Atlanta, and then 14 behind Washington. The teams that have given Philadelphia a bad time, not just the Dodgers have beaten them 4 out of 4. The New York Mets in their own division beat Philadelphia 8 out of 12. So they haven't been able to recover from that at all. There's a line drive base hit to right field. Ellis will round second and go to third. Pence's throw is cut off. So the Dodgers have runners at first and third with one out. And the batter, Juan Rivera.
Dodgers left fielder, number 21.
Hit number 3 for the Dodgers against Joe Blanton. New ball put in play, and that one's kicked out. Rivera grounded to third in the second inning. As Blanton has improved in the second half, so has Juan Rivera in his career. So they go head to head now with 2 on, 1 out, 3-0 Philadelphia. Ball 1. Rivera was 5 for 12 against Blanton coming into the game. That's a .417 batting average. So he has Mark Ellis at third, Andre Ethier at first, 1 out. Hits a big chopper foul, 1-1. Phillies scored a run in the second, a run in the third, a run in the fourth. Pierre singled home Ruiz in the second, Rollins homered in the third, Howard homered in the fourth. If you start playing long ball, the Phillies certainly would be favored. 1-1. Big bounce at the third, and they go to the plate. They have Ellis hung up. Ruiz fakes a couple of times, tags him out. He ran out of the baseline anyway. There's no doubt about it. Ellis trying to avoid a tag. Mattingly is going to appeal. Wallach is going to appeal. And I think they're going to claim that Ellis was interfered with. So because they called him out immediately, the Dodgers had no chance of getting into an extensive rundown. Ruiz did the play well enough to make the run a commit. Take a look at their rundown. That's Polanco to Ruiz. Now with Ellis, there's the fake, another fake. Then he runs way out. Now he tagged him with the glove, but he was way outside the baselines, so they're calling him out. Mattingly's still going to argue with the plate umpire, Bill Miller, but this play is in the books. So Rivera is aboard on a fielder's choice, and the Dodgers have runners at first and second. 2 out. The batter will be James Loney. You know one thing and why they mess up rundowns? Could we look at the play again? Just watch Ruiz. What Ruiz does. Watch him shake the ball like a baby with a rattle. There's Polanco. Now watch. Shake, 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 shake. If he fakes, I mean if he makes a fake full throw, in other words, go all the way through with the throw, but you're holding on to the ball, the run is dead. Absolutely dead. But when you shake it, a fake, like you're listening to something inside the ball, the base runner doesn't have to commit right away. But they got him for running out of bounds. So 2 out. Here's Loney, who popped up in the second inning. You have Ethier and Rivera out there. And ball 1 to Loney. James hitting .246. Has always done well against Philadelphia. 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Breaking ball missed. On deck, Luis Cruz. .53 pitches made so far, 17 in the inning for Blanton. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Phils. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. A 22-year-old getting older, Nate Eovaldi. Two and 1 to James. Dodgers struggling of late, have lost 2 straight and 5 out of 6. The Phillies trying to wake up, have won 2 in a row. Had lost 7 out of 10. 2-2. Joe Blanton trying to fight his way out of the jam. And strike three call. Loney flips the bat. That's almost asking to be kicked out. It used to be if you throw any equipment at all, you were automatically fined. Anyway, at the end of 4, 3-0 Philadelphia.
Top of their lungs, and it was some kind of spectacle that night.
Ah, yes, music hath charms. 3-0 Philadelphia as we go to the 5th inning. Bill Miller, the plate umpire, born here in California, graduate from Harbor High School, and got a BA in history at UCLA in 1989. And he quietly listened to James Loney for quite a bit. Loney dropped his helmet, then the bat, then took his gloves and dropped them at the plate. There are some umpires, I think, who might have taken umbrage, but not Bill. He just listened and understood. Meanwhile, Joe Blanton hit back to the box in the 3rd inning. 1 ball and no strikes. In there. Big, slow breaking ball for a strike. That came up there in the 70s. Blanton, Rollins, and Victorino in the 5th inning. In at the knuckle. By the way, Roy Halladay will be pitching tomorrow night for Philadelphia. And just to see Halladay on the mound, that's worth the price of admission. Not sure of the Dodger pitcher. Not yet. The report from Don Mattingly talking about Chad Billingsley said it's tender, but a good MRI, just some elbow inflammation. So down goes Blanton. Well, that'll bring up Jimmy Rollins. Rollins had grounded out in the 1st inning. But got one in the air in the 3rd and hit it in the pavilion. The fan made a good catch, too. Jimmy hits his 9th home run. It's 3-0 Phils. And Victorino on deck. Off speed, that floater at 74 for a strike. Jimmy Rollins. You know, Rollins is one of only 4 major leaguers where he had 20 doubles, 20 triples, 20 home runs, and 20 stolen bases. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. The others to do it, Frank Schulte in 1911, Curtis Granderson in 2007, and Willie Mays in 1957. Of course, when you look at Rollins' numbers, he's had as many as 45 doubles, 20 home runs, in fact 20 triples and 30 home runs. He is a one-man gang. Yet 5'8", 170. Grew up in Oakland and they thought it was too small. Strikes out. He was only 5'4" freshman year of high school, and he's grown to be 5'8". So Eovaldi has struck out 2 here in the 5th. Shane Victorino reached on the error and was doubled up on the ground ball by Utley. Singled, escaped a rundown and got to second. Started to steal third, tried to get back, and they got him. Slices one, Rivera can't get it, and the flying Hawaiian is on his way for 3. The throw to third gets away, and he's in there. So Victorino comes up with a triple on that ball hit down the line. For Victorino, his 5th triple. Just slicing it away. Rivera tried but couldn't get under it. And Victorino, who runs so very, very well, track star in high school in Hawaii, off and running. Victorino was originally a 6th round pick by the Dodgers out of St. Anthony's High School in Hawaii. That was back in 1999, but he never made it here. He finally came to the big leagues with the Padres. So Victorino, an exciting player to watch always. And Utley now trying to pick him up. 3-0 Philadelphia. Curveball hit inside out upstairs. 0-2. So with their 6 hits, the Phillies have a double, a triple, 2 home runs, and a couple of singles. Waiting on deck, Ryan Howard. 0-2 to Utley. And a line drive right at Loney. So the Dodgers dodge a bullet there in the 5th inning, and at the end of 4 1/2, it's still 3-0 Philadelphia.
later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be Cruz, Ellis, and Evaldi. And the first pitch fouled away. Luis grounded to short in the third inning. 0 for 1. Blanton just throwing strikes. One pitch after another right in the zone. They're going to check on a swing. Yes, Wally Bell says. And the count's 0-2. Sean Tollison gets up in the Dodger bullpen. Evaldi is due to bat third, so they're looking ahead for a hitter. One and two. Cruz batting .233, called up, of course, when D. Gordon went down with a bad thumb. Fastball got him. You can't be looking at home plate. Blanton is sawing it to pieces. Time to get you thinking about something. So here we go with our trivia question. Charlie Manuel, he holds the Phillies record for most wins by a manager. Whose record did he break? Well, we'll tell you in a little bit. A.J. Ellis single to left field. Ball one. As far as Blanton is concerned, working on Ellis, working on anybody else, no secret. Fastball, curveball, slider, and a change. 1-1. But the big thing, as we pointed out at the start of the game, he walked 16 and struck out 95 coming in. Fastball strike. You just can't be looking. He'll eat you alive up there. Joe has struck out 5 to give him exactly 100. Slice to right field. Could be trouble if it stays fair. It goes foul. So AJ back to try it again. Hitting .278. And he has arrived. And well, he should. Got the A.J. Ellis model. 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Most of the bats, the weight, somewhere around 34 inches, 31, 32, up to 34. And the same with weight. There was a time, I was told, that Babe Ruth used a bat 52 ounces. That'd be really like swinging a telephone pole. Pop foul coming back. Ruiz very doubtful. No play. One ball and 2 strikes to A.J. Ellis. Just missed. 2-2. You can see the maximum effort on every pitch. And also, and especially if you're down there, because he works the body so hard, his head jerks just a little. It has to. Another foul ball. See that head in slow motion, but in real time, it's really popping. And of course, he's about 250 pounds. A drive to center. Victorino. 2 down. Nathan Evaldi is out on deck. They're calling him back to the dugout. So with 2 out and the bases empty, they've opted to go to the bench. So Evaldi goes back to sit down. Juan Uribe will come up. Uribe played shortstop yesterday. He had a long fly ball to right, hit back to the box, grounded to short, struck out, made an error. So Evaldi goes 5 innings and allowed 3 earned runs. The Dodgers just don't score for him, so he has no margin for error. And a fly ball starting back and then over to his right, and Victorino puts it away easily. So the Dodgers go very quietly, and at the end of 5, 3-0 Philadelphia. Big news was not the trouble in Europe, certainly not in America. The big news was Joe DiMaggio. He had hit safely in 55 straight games. The Yankees were in Cleveland, and Joe not only extended the streak to 56, he had 3 hits and 4 at-bats. And the next day, third baseman Kenny Keltner did a job robbing him of a couple of hits, and the famous streak ended at 56. Of course, July of 1941, we were still much more conscious of baseball than what was on the horizon, which would begin with Pearl Harbor. Let's go back to this one. Sean Tolleson coming in with the Dodgers down 3-0. Nate Eovaldi has been averaging just 2 runs a start. And the Dodgers got him nothing tonight, so he never did have a chance for the team to come back while he was out there. Ryan Howard led off the 4th inning and hit one out of sight into the pavilion. His first home run of the year. He only played 6 games. He also fly deep to left in the 2nd, and Tolleson will be pitching to him. 0-1. Ryan batting 167. No spring training, nothing at all. Rusty, but slowly coming back. When Ryan Howard hit the home run to left field, you might have said to yourself, wow, big left-hand hitter, pull hitter, and he hit a home run the other way. Actually, to break down his home runs, he had more home runs to left field than anywhere else. 72 to left, 42 to left center, 68 to center, 44 to right center, and 61 to right. He's still very rusty, and Tolleson can tell the grandkids he struck out Ryan Howard with a good breaking ball. So 1 away, and the batter will be Carlos Ruiz. Ruiz doubled in the 2nd inning and walked in the 4th. After his double, Pierre singled him home. And ball 1. Carlos Ruiz has a little hitting streak on the road. He's hit safely in 9 straight. One ball, no strikes. 1-1. Sean Tollison out of Dallas, Texas. He's a very close pal, Clayton Kershaw. Sean is 6'2" and about 220. 2-1. His uncle and cousin were football players at Texas A&M. 2-1 the count to Carlos. That got a little bit to A.J. Ellis. He staggered, and Bill Miller held him up. Two and two. Carlos Ruiz. So 3-2 to the Philadelphia catcher. Fouled away. Ruiz is 5'11", about 190 pounds. From a town in Panama called Chiriqui. And hitting behind him, Hunter Pence. High pop coming down. Jerry Hairston. 2 away.
Now batting number 3, Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence has struck out and walked. So the right fielder checking in, looking for a base hit. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Phils. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. We're in the top of the 6th. And a strike. One ball, one strike. Hunter has an older brother, Howie. We told you about his brother and the brother's wife having the baby, and he hit the home run. His brother pitched in the Padre organization for about 3 years. 1-2. He is in constant motion. It's that old line about he'd make coffee nervous. I mean, he just can't wait to do something, anything. Still up there, 1-2. Being from Texas, when Howard, his older brother, didn't make it, he now works in the oil industry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Though Pence strikes out a second time, checks with Bill Miller about did I swing at a strike. And at the end of 5 1/2, 3-0 Philadelphia. Blanton and Eovaldi. Nathan made more pitches, gave up twice as many hits, and of course gave up 2 home runs, a double and a triple for 3 runs. As far as walks and strikeouts, Nathan had a few, but Blanton is great. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Joe will be pitching to Hairston, Ellis, and Kemp. It's amazing. He has been ahead of so many hitters. In fact, he's been an 0-2 count on just about half of the hitters. Pass ball, ball 1. Foul back, 1-1. For the Dodgers, this is the 3rd time around. By the time hitters have a 4th shot at Blanton, then he gets roughed up. Opposition batting average 4th time around is .450. And that's going to go down the line. Fair ball. Kicks in the corner. Hairston into second. Pierre gets it back in. So Jerry opens up with a double to left, and the batter will be Mark Ellis. We have a moment. Let's answer the trivia question. We talked about Charlie Manuel. He holds the Phillies record for most wins by a manager. And whose record did he break? It was Gene Mauch, sure. Mauch 645, Charlie 685. Interesting, too, Charlie Manuel, an outfielder, Gene Mauch, an infielder. They both played for the Dodgers at one time. So sooner or later, you'll find Dodger connections. Mark Ellis struck out, single to center on an 0-2 pitch. To right. Joe's pitch count only 73. Fastball hit to the hole on the grass, and making the play is Utley, and it's dropped, but the out is going to be called anyway. And we're going to have another argument in a moment. First base umpire Wally Bell is saying, just a minute. Let me talk to my other umpires. I want to get it right. Mattingly, hands on his hips, just standing aside waiting. This is a good thing for the umpires to do. Wally's saying, I thought he held the ball long enough. What do you think? And he's going to be safe. Now let's see, does Charlie Manuel have something to say? Yes, indeed. You've heard of Philadelphia lawyers. Take a look. Utley makes the play. Howard catches it, turns and drops it. Of course, he had his back turned to us. Can't tell if he's really in possession. Another look. Looks like it. Well, he never really had it in the glove. I think he caught it with his wrists, and he'll draw an error. So the Dodgers get a big break as Howard juggles and drops it. Instead of 1 out and a runner at third, you have nobody out, runners at first and third. And that's a great thing for umpire Wally Bell. He should really be saluted. Again, Howard had his back to him while he couldn't see through the big first baseman, so he did the wise thing. He talked to the other umpire. Great, great, great. Wally Bell, by the way, has been umpiring 20 years. He's an Ohio boy. Does charity work for the American Heart Association. Good for him. That was great. And I don't mean because the Dodgers got the best side of it, believe me. It was just good to see it done. So now Matt Kemp representing the tying run. Kemp line to third and fly deep to right center. And he has Hairston at third, Ellis at first, nobody out. course, for Ryan Howard, you have to understand, no spring training, really nothing, playing in his 6th game. But it's very tough for Joe Blanton. 0-1. Fastball at 92. Mark Ellis is a very knowledgeable base runner. He's 4 for 4 in stolen bases, but you certainly don't expect him to do any running. 0-1. Fastball pulled to third, down to second, back to first, double play. So Kemp hits into the double play. Hairston scores. The Dodgers get on the board, and the Phillies lead 3-1. Andre Ethier coming up. Ethier struck out, single to right, 1 for 2. No run batted in for Kemp, not when you hit into a double play. Andre Ethier struck out, single to right. That was leading to the play involving Rivera and the rundown of Mark Ellis. 3-1 Philadelphia. 1 ball and no strikes to Andre, hitting .299. Blanton, victim of a tough play at first. Bad to strike. If Howard holds on to the throw for an out, Hairston goes to third. There's no one to double up on the ground ball, but they might very well have had Polanco go after Hairston, just as they went after Ellis. So it could very well be the Dodgers would still be shut out. But the Phillies went for the double play because of the error and the run scored. High fly ball, that's all it is. Penn started back and puts it away. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 rather large error. And at the end at 6, 3-1 Philadelphia. Visit AT&T.com/free your TV. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. And by the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. 3-1 in favor of the Phillies. It'll be Juan Pierre, Placido Blanco, and then Joe Blanton, and we start the 7th inning. Ball 1. Juan Pierre came up in the second inning with a runner at second and hit the first pitch from Nathan Eovaldi for a base hit to drive in the run. Bunts foul. We were mentioning earlier that he's number one in the league in bunts. 9 bunt singles. In his great career, 575 stolen bases. 0-2. Pierre is not a big man, 5'11", 175 to 180 maybe. Always had the reputation of being as hard a worker as there is anywhere. In fact, I think the first fella to really spotlight just how hard a worker Juan Pierre is was Tony Gwynn. Got so where Tony said, "Who is that guy working out all the time?" Well, it was Pierre. Ball 3. Juan will be 35 the middle of August. Went to the University of South Alabama and was picked by the Rockies. Little roller. Mark Ellis takes care of it. So 1 out in the 7th, and Placido Polanco coming up. Polanco hit into a force play, grounded into a double play. So Nate Eovaldi, usual, didn't get any run support, gave up 3, and they had to hit for him. Collison, meanwhile, had retired 4 in a row. Polanco 0 for 2. And lifts one. It's slicing, so it's a room service fly ball. 2 down. So Joe Blanton hit back to the box and struck out. 0 for 2 coming up. Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th will have Rivera, Loney, and Cruz. Right, 0-1. Another strike. If you look at Blanton, the pitcher, he's tied for 6th in complete games, 2nd in strikeout to walk ratio. He is 2nd in walks per 9 innings. Would you believe 1.3? He is tied for 2nd, however, in most home runs, 20. Of course, every time you look at the Phillies and you talk about a Phillies pitcher allowing 20 home runs or whatever, one of the best pitchers in Philadelphia history was Robin Roberts, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I think Robbie allowed as many as 36 home runs, but most of them came with the bases empty. Got a little bit of the fastball, and that was 93. So Cole Hamels looks on. What's going to happen to Cole? Roy Halladay is back in uniform. We'll be looking at Roy tomorrow night. 1-2. Fastball got him. So 6 in a row retired by Sean Tolleson. Nice job, and he has struck out 3. However, the Dodgers look for runs. It's 3-1 Philadelphia. say very much, do you? There's not much going on. Couple of singles and a double. Hairston scoring. The error at first base by Ryan Howard had the Phillies go for the double play, allowing the run to score. Had he not made the error and Hairston was at third, they might have gone at him, etc., etc. But 3-1, Dodgers trying to find an answer to Joe Blanton. Rivera, Loney, and Cruz coming up. Ball one. Rivera grounded to third. Hit the ground ball where Ellis was caught in the rundown. And bangs it into left field for a base hit. Pierre gets it back in. So a leadoff single in the seventh inning. And we were talking about Blanton at the start of the game. From the seventh inning on, things get tough. From the seventh through the ninth inning, his earned run average is 7.6. So they'll be watching him very carefully. In fact, the Phillies are moving around because they know him a heck of a lot better than we do, but even we know he does weaken. So they're going to get somebody up right away. Rivera at first and James Loney at the plate. Remember, Loney called out on strikes in the fourth inning. Dropped the bat, dropped the helmet, dropped the gloves at the feet of Bill Miller, and the plate umpire took it all. I've known in the past umpires that would have kicked him out immediately. And he bangs it into right field for a base hit. Stopping at second is Rivera. So the numbers don't lie. As strong as Blanton has been for 6 innings, when he gets to the seventh, look out. And no one knows that better than Rich Doobie and his manager, Charlie Magnolia. First and second, nobody out. The batter will be Luis Cruz. Cruz has grounded to short and struck out. Big meeting at the mound is finally broken. The entire infield wanted to get in on it. Down in the bullpen, Jeremy Horst, he's a left-hander, and Mike Schwimmer, the right-hander, loosening up. So Charlie, who has great faith in Blanton. Blanton had a 3-game winning streak, but then came in here with a 2-game losing streak. So here is Cruz, and they're looking bunt. He shows bunt, fouls it, 0-1. Luis Cruz does not have a sacrifice. After Cruz, you have A.J. Ellis, and Tim Wallach wants to talk to Cruz. You almost get the feeling that you were not supposed to bunt on that pitch. Oh, and 1. Phillies infield in motion when he shows bunt. Tying runs aboard, nobody out. He's swinging, comebacker, Blanton to short, and there's no further play. Rollins got tied up on the bag. That was a double play ball, and Jimmy just couldn't turn it. So they're not making things easy for Blanton. Remember, we told you it was a guess up here that Wallach was saying to Cruz, you're not supposed to bunt. Why did Rollins have so much trouble at the bag? Can we look at that again, maybe before A.J. Ellis? I mean, he turns that thing in his sleep. Oh, he missed the bag. And then he had to step back to hit it. By that time, that's it. Okay. Had to be a reason, though they missed the double play easy. Bobby Abreu is coming out on deck now. He will bat for Tollison. Ellis hitting .277, single allowed, fly to center. Foul back, 0-1. So the Dodgers were fortunate in the 6th inning. Ryan Howard drops a perfect throw. Phillies then go for the double play, and that's how the Dodgers score a run. Now in the 7th inning, 2 hits, and the Phillies, Rollins particular, misses the double play. 0-2 to A.J. Ellis. A.J. striking out a little bit more down. So all of a sudden he has struck out 67 times. One and two. Blanton certainly still has some gas in the tank. He had 93 with that fastball. Abreu waits, one of the great names in Phillies history. Ground foul. So in the inning, Rivera singled a lab. Loney singled him to second. Cruz hits into a force play, hitting one right back to Blanton. And here is Ellis with Abreu on deck. Jimmy Rollins could kick himself, I'm sure, for not stepping on the bag and turning what should have been an easy double play. Chased and fouled. Nope. First base occupied, so down he goes. I don't know. AJ didn't strike out a lot, but of late, and it's probably just trying to do too much. 6 strikeouts for Blanton. And now here comes Bobby Abreu. Abreu played for Philadelphia from 1998 nonstop through 2006. The name Abreu means a great deal in Philadelphia history. Over those times, he has as many as 31 home runs and 110 runs batted in. 195 home runs. So Bobby Abreu trying to come back to hurt his old club. Batting for Tollison. First and third, Cruz and Rivera. That's in the dirt. Goes to the screen. The Dodgers get a second run, and the tying run is now at second base. For Joe Blanton, that is his 4th wild pitch. Big curveball. It didn't come up. It hit the ground, and instead of bouncing up and, let's say, hitting Cruz in the chest protector, it stayed low and went right through his legs. So the run is in. Tying run at second. 3-2 Philadelphia. And Abreu now trying to pick up Cruz. Right. 1-1. So the 4th wild pitch for Joe Blanton. Dodgers pretty fortunate, even though they're still trailing. They get a run in the 6th because Howard drops the ball. They get a run here in the 7th after the missed double play. And now the wild pitch. And it's lifted to left center. Victorino's the captain out there. And that's it. So the Dodgers can thank their lucky stars. They've scored twice. And at the end of 7, 3-2 Philadelphia. run by Jimmy Rollins and a home run by Ryan Howard. For Howard, since he hadn't played at all, his first home run of the year. For the Dodgers, fortunate to be on the scoreboard. One run on a double play and the other on a wild pitch. So it is 3-2 Philadelphia as we go to the 8th inning. And Scott Elbert is the new pitcher. We mentioned it before the game really started. One of the big differences between the two teams would be one-run games. The Phillies are 9-17 in one-run games. The Dodgers doing well, 19-15. And the biggest difference, why one team is better than the other? Well, it boiled down to the ability to get a man home from third with less than 2 out. Ball 1 to the leadoff man, Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy is grounded out, homered, and struck out. Jimmy Rollins, back in 2005, had a 36-game hitting streak. That was the 9th longest, and kind of timely to talk about it because of Joe DiMaggio extending his streak to 56 on this date. That 36-game hitting streak, the 4th longest in National League history, and the longest ever by a full-time shortstop. 2-1 the count. After the 36-game hitting streak in 2005, Jimmy then got a base hit in each of the first 2 games of 2006. Elbert now falling behind 3-1 to Jimmy Rollins. Batting .262, Shane Victorino on deck, and then Chase Utley. Ronald Belisario loosening up in the Dodger pen. 3-2 the count to Jimmy Rollins. There's Ronald. Scott Elbert out of Joplin, Missouri, and thank goodness that city is still there. We have certainly been fortunate here, talking about Joplin, Missouri, and the terrible thing that happened to that small city. I heard tonight that 70% of the United States is suffering from a drought. 70%. Ball 4. So Elbert draws a walk. You know, time's running out for the 2012 Dodgers season ticket package. Purchased today, you'll receive all of this year's new benefits and full postseason rights. Season tickets between the bases start at $10 per game. So visit Dodgers.com/season tickets today. Rollins at first, and he is a threat. He's stolen 14 out of 18. Elbert bluffs a throw. They can run, these Phillies. Rollins 14 of 18. Pierre 21 of 25. Victorino 19 of 22. And pull foul down the line. 0-1. Victorino's been busy. Reached on the error by Cruz in the first inning. Singled and was eventually A, escaping a rundown, and B, started to steal third, decided better, and was caught. And then in the 5th inning, he tripled. And they left him when Utley lined out. So Elbert has his hands full here. Rollins always a threat to go. He wants to see that move. He wants to see a better move than that. The old story, the pitcher trying to sell the runner that's about as good a move as I have. The commercial move. 1-1. For Elbert, he gives you a bit of a leg flourish. That right leg is really moving. And then he makes that split decision. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Phils. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers. We're in the 8th. And that's going to be hit to left. Rivera was shallow. Hands it on a hop. He was too deep, then tried to come up, and the ball was not hit hard at all. So a fly ball single for Victorino. That's his 3rd hit. Victorino, even though he's known for his speed and everything else, had 8 home runs. So Rivera was playing him back, and the ball hit shallow, and he just couldn't catch up. So 2 on, nobody out, and now here they come. Utley, Howard, and then Ruiz. Big meeting at the mound. Utley only played 6 games rehabbing, and in his very first at bat of the year, he came in against Pittsburgh, and Utley hit a home run. So 2 on, nobody out. Utley's going to take. Just going to check and see. Has he sacrificed? The answer is no, but he's only in his 13th game. Normally you could bet the house he wouldn't be sacrificing, but since he hasn't played very much, we'll just wait and see. Dodgers still shorten up with the 3rd baseman Hairston. 1-1. The World Series of 2009, you may remember, Utley tied the World Series record for home runs. He hit 5 in 6 games against the victorious Yankees. Reggie Jackson had first hit 5 against the Dodgers in 1977. Ball 2. 2-1 to Chase. Little alumni meeting around home plate. Utley went to UCLA. So did plate umpire Bill Miller. Two and 1. Oh, a bluff, a throw. He's back. He just got back. Boy, that's all Rollins needed, to be picked off second base after not turning the double play. Elbert kind of hesitated to get Cruz to the bag, and that was the difference. For Rollins, too close for comfort. 2-1. Phillies lead 3-2, looking for more time. Rollins and Victorino, so they have a lot of speed out there. Two balls, one strike. And popped up. Big league pop up, but still pop up. And the infield fly rule is called. So Utley pops to the shortstop. The runners hold. Ryan Howard coming up. Phillies went to the muscle against the Dodgers. First it was Rollins in the third inning reaching the pavilion. And then Ryan Howard showed that he can go the other way and hits one in the left field seats. Phillies got the other run on a double by Ruiz and a single by Juan Pierre. Now Ryan Howard. Fly deep to left, homered to left, struck out. when you look at Ryan Howard and you see his numbers and the fact he tied Mike Schmidt at home runs in 1 year. His second season in the big leagues, you look at it now and you think that can't be. Ball one. First of all, in his second year in 2006, he had 58 home runs. 58. RBIs, 149. Two and 0. When you look at some of the greatest names in the game, what they did in their second year, Kiner, 51 home runs, Eddie Matthews, 47, Joe DiMaggio, 46. 58. 2 and 0. Granted, in DiMaggio's second year, he had 167 runs batted in, but Howard's name deserved to be mentioned. Inside corner for a strike. 2-1. Big pitch here for Scott Elbert, the third Dodger pitcher. Two and two to Ryan Howard. Howard, of course, pays the price of a lot of power. He has struck out, in fact, he had back-to-back years where he struck out 199 times each year. But he also had 47 home runs and 48 home runs. Ryan is 6'4", around 250. Who's going to quibble? He'll be 33 in November. Signed by the Phillies about 11 years ago. Just missed. Whoa, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he goes 3-2. Now the question is, you have a big man, you have rabbits out there in Rollins and Victorino. You also know that Howard is rusty, and let's see what Charlie Manuel does. He has Ruiz, a hot hitter, on deck. Runners do not go on a ground ball to Mark Ellis. They're going to get one. They're going to get two. So for Charlie Manuel, he was kind of in a tough spot. Didn't run him. It cost him. And we're heading to the bottom of the eighth. 3-2 Phillies. The bottom of the 8th inning. By the way, Roy Halladay tomorrow night, but the Dodgers just have not announced their pitcher. So let's talk a little bit about Wednesday afternoon's game. Cliff Lee, the magnificent Lee, holding up against an equally great Clayton Kershaw, and that should be quite a battle. Cliff Lee, going back a ways, was the Cy Young Award winner with Cleveland in 2008. Cliff Lee, among other things, has won 22 games that year with Cleveland. And, of course, Clayton Kershaw, a Cy Young winner. So that's Wednesday afternoon. Meanwhile, Joe Blanton is still out there in the bottom of the 8th. Joe has not made 100 pitches, and he'll work on Hairston, Ellis, and then Kemp. Fastball strike, 1-1. This is the danger time, as we've told you, for Blanton. 1-1. And a high fly ball, but playable. John Mayberry, who just came into the game to play left field for Juan Pierre, out there to make the catch. One away. Mark Ellis coming up. Ellis struck out, singled, and then hit the ground ball. Nice play by Utley to get to it. And then Howard dropped Utley's throw. Ball 1. So Blanton, even though he's in a tough 3-2, the Dodgers know they're very fortunate to have the 2 runs. Two and 0. Blanton, who's been averaging about a walk a game. That's a strike. 2-1. Michael Schummer, the right-hander. Jake Diekman, the left-hander, down in the pen back of Blanton. 3-1. He's now up to 102 pitches, and that usually means look out. The batting average against him, when he does make 101 pitches, the average is .429. Hit foul down the right field line. That will go back into the stands. On deck, Matt Kemp. Hunter Pence going back to his position. Matt Kemp has lined out to third, flied to right, and grounded into a double play. Hard ground ball to Rollins. He kind of winds up to throw him out. 2 down in the 8th, and now here comes Matt Kemp. Coming into tonight's game, Kemp had a home run against Blanton in the past and was hitting .250. And he is 0 for 3. The other thing we told you about the batter's 4th appearance against Blanton, they're hitting .450. Ball 1. So from here on in, you can bet that Charlie Manuel, Rich Doobie, watching Blanton's every move. His pitch count now up to 106. Ground foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Blanton out there on the mound, kind of a world traveler. Not only in the National League and American League cities, but he's traveled to Spain, to Italy, to Greece, Mexico, Canada, U.S. Virgin Islands, Tahiti. He's been there. Fastball for a strike at the knees, and Matt's annoyed. The thing that fools you, in all honesty, watching it on videotape, you're inclined to look at the catcher catching the ball, but that's after the fact. It's already gone through the strike zone. Fastball. Still 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. Hitting .361. Blanton now has made about 106 pitches. Fastball, check swing. Did he swing? Yes, he did. So they'll have to tag him for the out. So Kemp strikes out. Dodgers go in the 8th inning, 1-2-3. And at the end of 8, Phillies 3, Dodgers 2. Game and a half back of the Giants, who are resting comfortably in Atlanta on an off day. They'll play the Braves starting tomorrow night. So the Dodgers, if they win, will cut the Giant lead to 1. Should the Dodgers stumble and fail, they will trail by 2. Arizona won a game today after being swept in Chicago. So they're just about going to hang where they are. Meanwhile, Jonathan Papelbon begins to warm up in the Philadelphia bullpen, and Ronald Belisario getting ready to pitch to Ruiz, Pence, and Mayberry. Ruiz, the catcher, a strike. Carlos doubled, walked, and fouled out. Joe Blanton went 8 innings and made 110 pitches. Blanton doesn't look like he's going to call it a night, but Papelbon with 19 saves, you would assume Jonathan will be coming in to try and shut down the Dodgers in the 9th. Beaten foul. Still 1-2 to Carlos. So Cole Hamill standing to the left wearing the light windbreaker. Blanton talking to someone off screen. One and two to Ruiz. Got him. That came up there at 95. One away. You know, you can follow the Dodgers with MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, BlackBerry, Android, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. So text at bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com. One out, top of the 9th. Belisario working on Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence gives you the feeling when you watch him that he's just swinging. He has no idea where the pitch is. But, of course, that's not true. You can't do that and hit 277 with 17 home runs. But he just looks like he's going to fly open on anything. He also has 53 runs batted in. Tonight he has struck out twice and walked. He has struck out 75 times. 1-2 the count of Hunter. Roy Halladay tomorrow night. Dodgers just not sure. They got a good report as Roy Halladay leans on the railing and talks to Cole Hamill. We got a good report on Billingsley, but whether that means he's able to pitch tomorrow or not remains to be seen. And for Hunter Pence, flailing away tonight, strikes out 3 times. To strike out against Belisario is certainly no sin. So 2 down. Now here's Mayberry hitting .234. John finished up. He has 6 home runs, 23 runs batted in. You may remember his father, Big John, had 255 career home runs. Right. John Mayberry was a first-round pick by the Rangers. He went to Stanford University. He had a scholarship. Got his degree, too. A degree in political science. His dad played 15 years. Young John is not as big as his father. And see you later. And so Belisario comes in and continues his amazing pitching as he strikes out Ruiz, Pence, and Mayberry. And now we go to the bottom of the ninth, 3-2 Philadelphia. Lead. Phillies would have had a more comfortable lead had they played better defense, but they're still ahead by 1. Dodgers, meanwhile, will have Andre Ethier, Juan Rivera, and James Loney. Jonathan Papelbon, 6'4", 230, a Red Sox pick in 2003 out of Mississippi State University. He was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and lives in Jacksonville, Florida. In the American League with the Red Sox, he saved 35, 37, 41, 38, 37, and 31 last year. He has 19 saves so far this year, and this will be a good look at him here in Los Angeles, and Andre Ethier will begin it. Papelbon's dad, interestingly enough, is the deputy director of the Ted Williams Museum and Hitters Hall of Fame. That's located in Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. So he has a strong baseball connection. His twin brothers, Jeremy and Josh, 3 years younger, were both minor league pitchers. So Papelbon was 31. He'd be 32 the last week in November, and he'll start with Ethier. Andre Ethier was just 0 for 1 against him in Philadelphia. Hides the ball behind his hip. Ball 1. With Papelbon, you'll get a fastball clocked up to 96, a two-seamer, a sinker at about 92 at its best, hard slider, curveball, and a splitter. The splitter he learned from Kurt Schilling back in 2005. 1-1. That thing hurried up at 93. After Papelbon learned the splitter, he said, I still throw about 75% fastballs, but I've been throwing as many as 20 splitters a game now. 1-1. One and two. That might very well have been the splitter. To further the quote, Papelbon estimates that 90% of his pitches are either a splitter or a fastball, and just an occasional slider. 1-2. Two and two. Andre Ethier tonight has struck out, single, fly to right. On deck, Juan Rivera. Two and two. Fouled away. And that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You would think it's especially tough for the hitter, the way Papelbon hides the ball, and you don't see that thing for quite a while. And when he's throwing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, by the time you pick it up, it's got to be right on top of you, because he will curl up and hide the ball behind his right hip, and it seems to stay back there for a while. There's the hideaway, drops down to the hip. That was a splitter, I'm sure. 3-2 the count. He's throwing the splitter 83 miles an hour. 3-2 Philadelphia, bottom of the ninth. 32,238 taken in the ball game. Got him with a splitter. So Ethier goes down. 8 Dodgers have struck out tonight. Blanton had 7. Now Ethier bites the dust as the bottom drops out of that splitter. And with 1 down, Juan Rivera. Rivera's had 11 at-bats against Papelbon. He's got just 1 hit. One Dodger who has a little experience against Papelbon is Mark Ellis. And Ellis hitting .364 against him. Ball 1. Papelbon signed in '03, made it to the Red Sox in 2005. He was originally drafted by the Oakland A's in the 40th round, but he opted to go to Mississippi State. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball, wide third, through into left field. So Rivera, in his 12th at bat against Papelbon, singles to left. So the Dodgers have the tying run aboard. Naturally, Polanco in the 9th inning is more inclined to defend against an extra base hit. So Tony Gwynn will run for Rivera. So Polanco was guarding the line. Normally, that's a ground ball out earlier in the game. So the tying runs aboard with 1 out, and James Loney coming up. Loney has never faced Papelbon. James tonight popped to short, struck out, single to right. Tony Gwynn at first base and ready to motor if he gets the opportunity. Gwynn has stolen 11 out of 17. That's a strike. Papelbon does not have a wild pitch, despite the fact he thrives on splitters and fastballs. On deck, Adam Kennedy. So Gwynn, the tying run at first, 1 out in the 9th, 3-2 fills. Oh, a better throw had him. Oh, the only problem for Papelbon, the throw was high. Had he thrown down towards the bag, I think they gets him. See Tony leaning, and now the throw is going to be up there. Had it been down low, he'd have hung Tony out to dry. So even for the base runner, it's a little hard to figure out where the ball is. And the strike. You know, when Papelbon earned his 200th career save, that was last June at Yankee Stadium. He passed the Yankees' great closer, Mariano Rivera, as the fastest pitcher in Major League Baseball history to record 200 saves. 0-2 the count to Loney. Kennedy on deck. Fouled away. Boy, that's holding that ball a while. Not so much to freeze Loney, but to freeze Tony Gwynn. One of the things the veteran pitchers will do, you get a runner like Gwynn, and he's kind of on his toes, ready to go, and you freeze and hold the ball and make him drop back down to be flat-footed. They're all part of it. 0-2 to James Loney. And it's going to be hit down the left field line. Foul. So Gwynn will go back to first. Charlie Manuel sweating it out. Tony looks like he's changed the style of his pants. Remember, recently he was playing with sails. These look tailored. So as he can, we'll see if he can tailor them around the home plate. 0-2 to Loney. Papelbon has not been successful in holding runners in his career. The success rate against him is 88%. And even though he might hide the ball, he's only had one pickoff in his career. 0-2 the count to Loney, so let's see if the count will play with Gwynn at first. So the battle between the war, Papelbon and Gwynn. One out, ninth inning, 3-2 Philadelphia. He holds, doesn't he? Wow. We always think of the old days in golf with Jack Nicklaus. He would get over a putt, and you would think birds would land on his shoulder. He was like a statue for so long. Well, you look at Papelbon, and he'll hide that ball and then just stand there. One and two. And there goes Gwynn. And a chopper. Utley will make the play to first. Gwynn into second as Loney grounds out. And the batter now is Adam Kennedy with 2 out and the tying run at second base. Has Kennedy faced Papelbon? Yep. He is 1-for-7 against him in the past. That would be a 143 batting average. Kennedy for the year hitting .242. He has a home run and 13 runs batted in. On a base hit here, it will be interesting. They put Mayberry in left field because he has a better throwing arm than Juan Pierre. Shane Victorino is in center. He has a good arm. And Hunter Pence in right field has an excellent arm. In fact, from 2008 through 11, Pence was tied with Jeff Francoeur with 52 outfield assists. Matt Kemp had 44. And the throwing arm of the outfielders could be very important if Kennedy should stroke one. And ball one. Adam batting for Cruz, who is 0 for 3. Dodgers beat Philadelphia 4 straight in Philadelphia. 3 of the 4 by 1 run. And the Phillies are out trying to return the favor. 1 ball and no strikes. And Gwynn to third. The pitch is high. Well, Tony steals third. So again, on Papelbon, 43 stolen bases and only 6 caught. So that was the big angle. The threat certainly with Gwynn that they would run on Papelbon. He doesn't have any wild pitches. 2-0 the count to Kennedy, and the tying run 90 feet away. And a little pop fly to Utley, and that's the game. By the way, they are ruling Gwynn going to third defensive indifference. Wow. Philadelphia 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. The Dodgers 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher, Joe Blanton, and the loser, Nathan Eovaldi. Dodgers figure to have their hands full tomorrow night against Roy Halladay, and then Wednesday afternoon, Cliff Lee and Clayton Kershaw. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.